Hey there guys, how you doing? I'm Yalek, and we're going to do Dr. T. Not a no endless, no problem situation, but I figured I would try to run through this. Well, the goal is always to be as economical as possible, so trying to keep as many troops alive as we can. I mean, with or without endless, that is the object, right? But I do happen to have endless on this account. Usually can BART through a few stages of this event. The strategy can vary. In this case, the health on that's pretty high. This is a 6 GBE statue account, so I can pretty safely BART out 85 to 90,000. In this case, the health is way too high, so we'll just BART other things. For example, flamethrowers and machine guns are bad for critters, so we'll kill them. Let's see. And then we'll just throw critters all over the place back there. And let's see, we can also drop Bullet over here because he can get extra GBE up as we go. Probably best use for GBE right now is that. Blow stuff up. The faster the better, right? And then progress to more interesting stages of this event. Sorry, trying to move quickly. I need to be up in under 5 hours, and then need to hike 16.5 miles. Again, so too high to be too high just to BART out, but we can kill this pretty quickly by, well, critters again, and clearing a few specific towers that are bad for us. Namely, all of the range towers in the area of the HQ. Rockets, shock launchers, got the mortar, and didn't need anything else because this map doesn't have a lot of defenses on it. Again, can drop Bullet. That does get you more GBE on the way, so that's always good. Thrilling. You can probably hear the dog in the background. She's moving around. You might hear out my window, it's probably one of the last really beautiful nights we'll have here in New Hampshire for a very long time. So, you know, like, the bugs are singing. It's quite nice. So if that, like, leaks into the video at all, I am not the tiniest bit sorry. Alright. This is actually kind of an annoying layout. Mines are not bad depending on which way you go. I think I'm going to try to get myself up to that shock launcher and then flare to the HQ. Reason being that Bullet should end up somewhere like here. Actually, he should end up like exactly here between these two mortars, and then he'll be in the blind spot of that shock launcher, and then we can just shock this one over here, and in that case we don't need to remove any mines. If you're going this way, you do, but I'm going to try to go around. The trouble is getting everyone over there, because that's just not a great layout for getting your troops gathered. Idea. I'm going to flare back here and then flare up, and that should pull my warriors in relatively compactly. And then I'm going to do a flare over here, and this is going to make things weird. Luckily they can't run in too many directions because of the wall there, but flaring at odd angles like that is never recommended, because that's when your warriors will do stupid things that you don't want them to do. And critters, shock launcher, health is not extremely high here. I never check. I probably should, but I rarely do. It's Dr. T. I've done this how many times before? I can't tell you. Twice a week, going on almost 5 years. You do the math. So I just press attack normally. And then figure out a plan. This is kind of a weird layout also. Shock launchers back here can be a problem. Gonna have a shock over here regardless. Luckily this doesn't range, and there is a bunch of GBE down here to grab. So I'm gonna do that. And I think I'm coming in from the right, sorry, left, right, I have hands. And again, not totally clear on this, but I'll figure it out as I go. Alright. So that's getting a little bit weird with bullet. Yeah. And we're gonna head up to the mortar as soon as things look even remotely clear down here, because things getting a little hairy. Alright, no, none of that is really recommended, but it worked out. Sometimes I try things, sometimes they work. That wasn't terrible, but just saying. Alright, so critter, and I'm seeing shock. And that gets, obviously, and I think one more swing and we're good. Have lost one guy there. That's not too bad. That's kind of a weird landing. There's nothing that you can immediately grab onto, so sometimes I try to freestyle a little on the landings like that, and, you know, sometimes it works out. Sometimes it works out much worse than that. That was fine. Just a little excitement added, just because. Lower shock launcher here does not range. If we're approaching from this side, that would not be a problem, but this one would. Now, if we approach from this side, bullet taunts most of this stuff. These guys would be a problem, so they are one shock for sure. And then I'd probably throw a critter in here also, to try to take off some of the heat from, there's a lot of towers back there behind you that would be shooting at you if you're standing there at the HQ using warriors. And also definitely a shock over here to take care of that. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not covering a huge part of the HQ, but it does hit bullet, and it's going to hit like 1/8 of your warriors. That's a boat of your warriors that are out of commission because of that. So let's see. So land over here. We could gather up on this flamethrower, and it doesn't look like a too wonky a path to get to this flamethrower. So flamethrower at the beach, flamethrower near the HQ. The path is like through there. Mines. There's kind of a lot to consider going into these things. And then when you actually do the warrior hit, you come out of smoke at the HQ, and the actual attack takes 4 seconds. I don't know. I love it though. It's the planning and then the execution. This doesn't look too bad on the mines. It looked a little uglier at first, but we can probably just drop a barrage in here and probably be okay with that. Alright, I said the sound of like grasshoppers and crickets, not the sound of branches falling. That's weird. Alright. Well, if I get cut off in the middle of this video, it's probably because I've been killed, but... alright, so here to there, we can just barrage probably there. And I think we might want to art these 3 mines right there. They are pretty low health. Actually, so probably would art these 3 to make sure that the 22 doesn't factor in, but whatever. Anyway, barrage, art, 2 smokes on the landing, 2 shocks. And then we can check troop losses after this. I might be speaking too soon, because you just never know. Things can get real weird real quick. Alright, that is working out very nicely. Path's a little weird there. But all in all, we got everybody to this point, so I'm pretty happy with that. So, and an extra med kit, and pray, I guess, because there's no more GBE to do anything at all. But, you know, hopefully the planning phase works out well for you, and in that case it did. So, like I said, the actual attack, I mean, there's the getting there, which is kind of the fun with warriors, getting everybody where they need to go, trying to coordinate that. Oh, this is weird. This is very different. I like it though. Cool layout. I'll think about how to approach it in a minute, but like the fun of getting there with warriors is kind of the thing for me, and then once you get there, the attack itself, it happens so quickly that it's kind of, oh my god, they're a joke, shut up, I don't even, no, alright, yeah, I'm not even going to finish that thought. Moving along, so it would be awesome to get to this flamethrower, and from this flamethrower to this shock launcher, because from using this as a gathering point, then flaring up on the headquarters, bullet will definitely end up in the blind spot of this shock launcher, which means it will be completely negated, taken out of the picture entirely, and then we can just do a shock over here on these things, and actually they shouldn't even be really anything else shooting at us, which is what I mean. There's this little island of defenses over here around the headquarters, and everything else is really separated from it. This weird little meandering river of mines, I guess. Let's not get poetic with this or anything. So, question is, how the hell do we get to there? So, drop bullet, drop a smoke, drop the warriors. The machine gun over here does range the beach, so that's what the smoke would be for. Flag all the warriors over to here, and quickly, and then drop a smoke, flare, smoke, to get them to this flamethrower, is the idea. I want to clear this mine just in case, if anybody takes a wonky angle or whatever. I'd really rather not lose a troop to that, and these 3, obviously. So 2 artillery there. Really, the entire thing with this attack is going to be the path. If the path works out, then the headquarters will drop. And if the path does not work out, then you're going to have problems. So, like I said, get everybody gathered up there, and then here's gotta be the interesting part. Well, we lost a guy. That's not too terrible. Get taunt loaded up. Gonna get a critter out, and then we're gonna shock some stuff. And let's see, we can throw an extra med kit and an extra critter. And we can taunt again. And we lost that one guy. And that was honestly because I wasn't quite anticipating well enough the angles down here that they would take, so they popped out of smoke for a little bit longer than I would have liked, and so that's on me. That's user error. It could well have been not even that. So not a no endless, no problem thing, like I said, because I do have endless here, but I love endless. This is the one thing I say that might make Supercell like me, because otherwise I'm kind of a pain in their ass, and I know it, but I love endless reserves. A so-called instant training, but I still refuse to call it that. It used to be called endless reserves. It will always be endless reserves. Also, never mind. Skipping past that. Everybody has a hobby. I justified this to myself very easily. The expense of $10 a month is, I mean, this is my hobby. It really is. Most are more expensive than this. I could tell my wife I'm going to buy a boat and see what she has to say about that. Guarantee you she'd prefer this. But over the course of that event, though, let's see what we lost totally. Nothing, because no troops, no troops, no troops. No losses. One loss. No losses. One loss. So, I mean, 2 troop losses over the course of the event. And that's what I mean with the, even if it's not no endless, no problem, then still we're going to approach it that way here, because that's what we do. Who wants to lose troops? I mean, unless you're doing it intentionally, which reminds me. No, nobody needs a donation on this map. Anyway, alright, so that's Dr. T. I gotta go to bed, and I'm hiking 16 miles, so wish me luck. Have a great day. I'll catch you later.